Hello friends, welcome to C# Intermediate to Advanced tutorial. Now you are watching part 6 of the subseries C# OwnerDraw combo box. So in the last video we drawn empty tiles, so or we can say the outline of the tiles for all these 7 items. In this video we will try to fill these rectangle tiles with the color, and after that we will draw the text string representing the color. So those stuff we will continue in this video. So this video is simply for fill tiles with color and draw combo box item strings. So these are all the item strings: red, blue, green, those stuff. Let's quickly review the previous parts. The first video is about the introduction. Here we talked about what's a OwnerDraw control. Next we talked about this specific example. Next we talked about the draw mode property. So that's the key property which will decide whether the control is self-drawn or it's drawn by the container. That means the OwnerDraw. Then we talked about the modes: OwnerDraw fixed and variable, and in fixed the height will be same, and in variable the height may be different. An example will be showing a font size, or even showing a font with fixed size, say 12 pixel, and how each font appears. So by looking at the font itself, the user will know whether they can select the font or not. So if we won't display the font with the specific style, and if we put a plain text, then they will apply the font using this combo box. They will look at the font in the UI, and then they may come back and choose a different font. But here itself, if you show the font and how it looks for a given font size, then it will be easy for the user to pick a specific font, and they can make the decision in the list itself. Alright, so here OwnerDraw fixed and OwnerDraw variable, both we saw. Then we moved on to preparing the example. We added the items in the load event. After that we wrote a utility function that takes a string name and returns a specific color object. Then we handled the selected index changed event as well. So in the selected index changed, we take the color and we apply it to the multi-line text box. Then we started implementing the draw item handler, and we stopped at drawing the tiles, I mean the outline of tiles. And in this video we will continue with the draw item implementation. So next we need to paint the tiles, right? We have empty tiles and we have to paint those empty tiles with a specific color. Here if you see, we are making use of selected color and we are creating the solid brush. So in one of our subseries we already talked about GDI plus. There we talked about various type of brushes, like solid brush, gradient brush, and pattern or hatch pattern brush, we can say. So those stuff was covered in the GDI plus subseries. And here if you see, we are creating a solid brush with a selected color. Then we make a call to fill rectangle, and remember that this code will be inside the draw item event handler. In the last video itself, we saw when the draw item event handler will get called by the combo box control. So whenever the display needs redrawing, that time it will make a call. And we saw that when we click the drop down, the draw item handler will get called for all the items. So if there are 7 items in the combo box, the draw item handler will get called 7 times when user clicks the drop down, because it is dropping down the list with all the combo box items. That means all item needs a redraw. So when you make a selection, the time the draw item handler will get called for 2 times, one for the unselected item and the other time for the selected item. So here selected color indicates the a specific color for which we are doing the drawing. So based on that selected color, we create the brush, then we make use of a filled rectangle, and we are calling that on the GRP object. So this is graphic object which we already retrieved in the previous piece of code. So here if you see the selected color, we get the index right from event talks. So if you remember, this is from code snippet 4.1, which we already covered in the previous video. And just for a quick recap, here we are making use of a draw item event tags, and from there we make use of e.index. So this tells us for which specific item the owner is doing the drawing. Owner in the sense here the form, for which item the form is doing the drawing. So if it is for the first item, you will be getting the index 0, and index 0 will return some color string. Say for example, I think in our case it is red color. So here you will be getting red, and by passing it to our utility function, we will get the selected color. Using that selected color, here we are creating the solid brush. After that, we are filling the rectangle by making use of the graphic object. So this is our combo box, right? This is our combo box, and we retrieved graphic object for this drop down list. GRP is for this specific one. GRP.fill rectangle brush. We are giving the solid brush and rect. This rect is nothing but our rectangle tile which we drawn in the previous video. So we are passing that, and we are filling the content with the color. So here if it is for the very first item, it will give red. We will be filling the tile with the red color, and for the chocolate color, this one will retrieve the string form of a color chocolate. Then we retrieve a specific color object from .NET API, and we create a solid brush, then we perform the fill rect. So this way we paint all 7 tiles. Here if you see, this is a red, and this particular empty tile is filled with a red color. Next time it's filled with the blue, and using the items.add in the form load itself, we already stored the relevant color in the form of a string. And when we make a call to OwnerDraw DC combo.items of e.index, it will retrieve the string which we added in the form load. So we are making use of that, and we are filling the rectangle. So as already told, if you see, this will get called 7 times because there are 7 items here whenever user clicks this drop down, right? That means each time we will get a different color by making use of owner DC combo.items.e.index. E.index is the event argument for our draw item handler, and based on this we will paint the tiles. Alright, since it happens for 7 times, we painted we will be painting all the 7 rectangle tiles or square tile, whatever you call. Next, here we are creating a solid brush, and this time we are making use of fixed brush. So we call this brush as a text brush. Previously we created brush just to perform the tile filling. Now we created a solid brush with a fixed color, black color. Why? Because we want to draw these strings. Next, if you see here, e.bounce.x plus 1, e.bounce.y plus 1. So here there will be a gap right at this location. We already have a rect left and a rect top with this adjustment added, so that here if you see, the rectangles are not overlapping and the fill also not overlapping. Next, grp.DrawString. grp is our graphic object. DrawString is the method, and the color name, we know the color name will give as the string red, blue, green, chocolate, yellow, like that. So we are passing that string. Then e.font, whatever is the default font which you set during the design time, the same font here we are getting it. But anyhow, it comes from the event talks and we are passing that same font. Next, text B, this one, since I put a green squiggly here, it overlaps with the text. So this is actually text B. This is what we are passing. We are passing the brush. After that, rect left. For example, let us consider for this very first item, rect left plus rect width plus 2. That means, let's take this item. We want to draw text string starting from this location. We want to give some gap, and at the same time, for this API, we want to tell where we want to start the text drawing from this left location. So the graphic object is for this one, right? So that means from here we need to calculate the offset. So rect left, we know the rect left which was already calculated when we draw this empty tile, and here we filled it, but in the previous video itself we drawn the empty tile. That time itself we calculated the rect left as well as rect top. So this has, so for now we will forget about the y, we will consider x, because we need the x offset only. So e.bounce.x, so this is the gap plus 1, and rect left plus rect width, and we already have 1 pixel gap and we want some gap here as well, so we added plus 2. So if you look at here, rect left means is take one specific tile, so this rect left is from whatever the bounce is giving us. Bounce, e.bounce.x will give this location, specific location. Let me put a cross mark, a specific location plus 1 here, rect left, right? That's what rect left is. Whatever e.bounce.x is giving us, that one plus 1 pixel to accommodate this specific gap that's already there in the rect left, plus rect width, this one. And if you see how we are calculating the offset, first we included this Then we came up to this rect left, rect width plus 2, some more gap, and this is where we want to draw our string, so that if we say red, it will not overlap with this rectangle tile. So here if you see chocolate, there will be some gap to see it clearly when we drop down the combo box. That means there will be a tile, some gap, and then the tile name or the color name starts. Alright, that's what here we did. So this entire portion decides the offset, horizontal offset. Top tells the vertical offset. So top already we have e.bounds.y plus 1. So if there are multiple items, and if you see, x may be fixed, right? Rect dot left plus width plus 2. So this will be fixed for everything. So this is the offset, you will get x offset even though we run it for 7 times. But at top we depend on e.bounds.y. That means it will vary whenever this routine is called for a specific item. First time it will be at this location y, second time it will be the x1, y1, okay, x1, x2, x3 we can call like that. So for each item the height will vary, rect top will vary. Based on that we can draw the string. And here is the DrawString API parameters. So this is the overload we are using. First is the string, we are passing the color name. Second is the font, we are taking it from our event arcs itself. The third one is a brush we already constructed with the black color. The third one is float x and float y, that decides the location of string drawing. So if you say x and y, from this location the string will be drawn. String will be drawn based on some bounding rectangle. Let's say the bounding rectangle will not be visible, but this is the location you are giving here with x and y, and once you specify red will appear here, right? The tile, after the tile we are drawing the string. All right, so now once the string is drawn, it will look like this. So now we drawn tile as well as the text strings. Now it's demo time. We will go to the demo. So this is where we left previously, and here is our empty rectangle tile. So here we are creating the solid brush and filling the rectangle. And RCT, if you see, here we already constructed the RCT as part of our previous example using rect left and rect top. Rect left and rect top is decided based on the incoming draw event arguments. And then 20, that's the width for our rectangle. Let me, okay. So this shows you the overload which we are using. X location, Y location, then width we are fixing it as a 20. Then height, we are taking it from e.bounds.height minus 2. That's all. Here we have the rectangle tile. This -2 is to have some margin area in the top portion as well. So here we are adding a pixel margin, right? So one from previous item and another one from next item. So when you consider 2 items, that will be 2 pixel. So whatever the event talks gives us, from there we are negating the height to 2 pixel. There are 2 items, right? So when rectangle is drawn, we need to segregate the rectangle from previous and current item, or current and next item, whatever you say. Alright, so this is all covered in the previous part. Now here we just filling the rectangle. Let's run this, and we are making use of the rect which we already calculated. Now if I run it, you can see the rectangle tile filled with the specific color, right? Now we will create solid brush with a black color, and we will draw our string. Here also you can see, first we specify the color name. Color name we already got it here. Based on the item index, we know what is the color. Why? Because during the form load we added all the color, so the same we will get. So that's the string here we are passing. So this is the item we want to draw using the DrawString. Then what is the font we use to draw the text string? So we will go with the default. That means when combo box is set with Verdana font, our event argument will give that font here, and we will be using the same font. Next, text B, that's the solid brush, and you can see in the previous line we constructed the solid brush with a black color. Next, rect left and rect width. This is to calculate the x offset to decide from where we want to start the string draw. That means we need to draw red, blue, green, all those string, right? So where it should start. So we are calculating this offset, otherwise it will get overwritten on the rectangle tiles. So we need to calculate the offset, and we need to provide a gap between the rectangle tile as well as the start point of the text also. So that's why we are calculating this offset width. Rect.left, then rectangle width, because where the rectangle starts, rect.left, cover the width, then add some buffer too, so that the text string start at a decent location from the right edge of the rectangle. Alright, once that's decided, rect top, we are taking it from our event arguments bounds itself. So rect top, if you check here, whatever e.bounds is giving us, so y location it is giving, right? X and y location, so that we are using it here. Rect top. That's all. Now we drawn the string also. Let's run this, and if you see, now we have red, blue, green, all those stuff. So now I am selecting purple. So things are working, right? All right. And in the next video we will see how to draw bounding a rectangle, and by this time itself we have a decent OwnerDraw combo box, and the default selected item focus itself enough, but if you want to put some more border around it, you can still do that. and we will try that in the next video. That's all here. So just now you saw the demo. Thank you for watching. Bye.